Hello, I'm Liv.
And I'm Grace.
And together we are
Liv and Grace Read Books. Today we are doing the coffee book tag, which is created by Bangity Bangs. I will leave his original video in the link below. And we were tagged by Alexa from the Book Nook to do this tag today. We are very excited. It's such a fun tag.
So question 1, Black. Name a series that's tough to get into but has hardcore fans.
For this question we both agreed on the same thing, and that is Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. And that is because it's not necessarily a hard book to get into, but you don't really realise how kind of slow it goes until you get to a certain part of the book where it starts rapidly moving.
Picking up in
Yeah,
speed.
and it just...
I'm at
full
that
on.
stage right now reading it on my Kindle and it is so good. I can't get over it, but the first few pages were a bit slow going and
it definitely has hardcore fans.
I think the size of the books intimidate people as well. That is also something that is a factor in the thing.
Question number 2, Peppermint Mocha. Name a book that gets more popular during the winter or festive time of year.
I chose My True Love Gave to Be by Stephanie Perkins. I find that whenever it's Christmas or festivity time, you find that that book is everywhere on Goodreads and everyone's reading it. And it's 12 stories written by various authors that I'm not gonna name.
I have chosen Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson and Lauren Miracle, and that is because it is a Christmas book. I don't think it wouldn't fit if you didn't read it during Christmas time, although it is about a blizzard in the snow, and here in Australia it's summer during Christmas, so it is kind of weird reading this book during summer, but nonetheless it is still a great Christmas novel, and I did read it in Christmas and I highly recommend you do as well if you haven't read it and are planning to.
Question number 3, Hot Chocolate. What is your favourite children's book?
My favourite children's book is The English Roses by Madonna. I don't really know how I came across this book. I remember one day that my mum just brought it home and gave it to me, and she said, "Here, you need to read this, it's important." So I was like, okay. I was like 6, and it's a story about these 4 girls called The English Roses, and they come across this girl, I can't remember what her name is, and she's basically like an outcast. Oh, sorry. She's like an outcast in their town, and they all make fun of her and kind of seclude her, and it's just about their journey of accepting her as a person and letting her join their group. In the end, they all do, as you can see here in the pictures.
There is 5 girls.
I did really love this story when I was little because this character here, her name is Grace, and she's actually wearing plaits like I am right now. So I felt really connected to this story, and yeah, the illustrations are absolutely amazing and beautiful. And I've never ever seen this book anywhere except for my own house, so I do not know where my mother got it, but here it is. And if you have ever come across it, I highly recommend you picking it up and just taking a quick look at it, because it's very important, especially for young children to read. It has some really good views and values in it.
So my favourite children's book is The Magic Faraway Tree, the collection by Enid Blyton. Those books were read to me. We have this big chunky collection, it's green cover and it's really pretty, and those books were read to me as a child. Every single bedtime my mum would read it. I remember one time my mum went to a coffee dinner or a group.
A coffee dinner?
She went to a dinner or a sewing group or something one night, and I ended up getting my dad to call her and get her to come home so she could read me my bedtime story from The Magic Faraway Tree, and then she could go back to dinner.
Question number 4, double shot of espresso. Name a book that kept you on the edge of your seat from start till finish.
We both agreed on the same
Definitely
book for this.
Illuminate. This book, oh my god.
It was amazing.
From the first page to the last page, it was it was like a roller coaster. It just kept getting good and then it kept going downhill. Not in story wise, but the plot. I just felt for all the characters so much, and it was just so stressful, and I was definitely on the edge of my seat or on the edge of my bed or wherever I was when I was reading it. But it was absolutely fantastic.
I don't understand how some people said, because I was reading some reviews and some people were like, yeah, it was a slow start. I think there's 3 pages that are slow, and then
that's only because you're trying to figure out, because the story doesn't really give you any background information when you start off, so you just jump straight into the story and you kind of like, hang on, who is that? What is going on? But once you get past that, wow.
This book was
amazing.
It was so good. Question number 5, Starbucks. Name a book that you see everywhere.
A book that I see absolutely everywhere is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, and I think that nearly every single girl who is obsessed with reading has read this book, and it is a fantastic book, and I am not against John Green at all. I love John Green's writing. I've read all of his books and I think they're all great. Everywhere, I've seen it everywhere. Shops, bookstores. I even saw it once in a petrol station. They had like a few select books, and yeah, The Fault in Our Stars is one of them, and I just see it everywhere. And I think everyone owns a copy of this book. Do you own a copy of this book?
I own a copy of that book.
Everyone owns a copy of that book.
The book that I see everywhere currently is Soundless by Rochelle Mead. I went into my bookshop the other day and it was in this big display, and I went into department stores and it's everywhere, and there was like 4 shelves, and I was looking at teen fiction and there was like 4 shelves everywhere.
It's like, yeah, we get
so
it.
many book copies of this book, and I don't have anything against Rochelle Mead and I don't have anything against this book. I haven't read it yet. I'm planning on it, but it's everywhere.
Question number 6, That Hipster Coffee Shop. Give a book by an indie author a shout out.
I have a book that is only recently been published. She independently published it, but it's called Carry Me Home by Dorothy Adamek. She's written this book based on Phillip Island. It's been checked by the Historical Society. Dorothy, I am shouting you out right now.
I'm not actually entirely sure if this author is an indie author, but I've never seen any of her other books before. That is Andrea Ports, I think that's how you pronounce it, and it is such a stunning story. If you haven't read it, I would highly recommend you definitely picking it up. Have you read it?
No.
No. It's such a gorgeous novel, and it is really, really sad. I just think, when I read it, I'm like, I have no idea if she's a debut author. I don't know, but it was just phenomenal, absolutely exceptional, and what more can I say? Andrea Ports, you're fantastic.
Question number 7. Oops, I accidentally got decaf. Name a book you're expecting more from.
There aren't that many books that I've read that I was expecting a lot from and like it didn't deliver. And I did pick up a book last year and I read it and I was expecting a lot more, and that was Falling Into Place by Amy Zhang.
I don't know.
Zhang?
Makes it sound like it's like C-H.
The plot was definitely not what I was expecting, especially from reading the back of the book. It sounded really, really interesting and different and original, but it was kind of just meh to me. It kind of fell flat a little bit, and that's okay. I still enjoyed it, but I was just expecting more.
The book that I was expecting more from. Grace warned me that it
warned
wasn't that good. No,
you.
actually, you didn't say that it wasn't great. You said that you didn't enjoy it. No,
I said that I didn't like it at all, and I hated the ending.
You hated the ending, okay? That's what you hated, and that's what I thought, okay?
I warned you then. I did warn you.
And then I picked it up and I was like, no, I'm gonna be more positive than Grace. I'm gonna read this and I'm gonna like it.
And actually, you gave it a lower rating than I did.
Oh my god, it was disgusting. And that is me and Earl and the Dying Girl. I hate this book. I don't use that term lightly. Like, I never say I hate a book because I always give books chances. But this book can go and get out of my life.
You might be like offending a lot of hardcore fans right now. Question number 8. The Perfect Blend. Name a book or series that was both bitter and sweet but ultimately satisfying.
The book that I think is both bitter and sweet but ultimately satisfying is The Sky is Everywhere by Janie Nelson. I read this a few years ago, maybe 1 year, 2 years. It was very good. I enjoyed it. It was bitter and it was sweet. And
it was ultimately satisfying.
Ultimately satisfying.
The book, this was actually, this is also a hard question because I didn't really understand, bitter and sweet, does that mean like you kind of didn't like some parts but you really did like other parts, so it was kind of the perfect blend? I'm not sure, but I chose Life and Death by Stephanie Meyer. That is because if you hadn't already figured it out, I loved Twilight. I loved Twilight ever since I was 10 years old and read the saga, and reading Life and Death was so exceptionally amazing because I got to relive Twilight without actually reading it again. And it's actually really different to Twilight, the original. And there were so many moments that I was like, God, why? Like, it made me cringe, and I'm like, I can't believe that I like swooned so hard over these moments when I was 10. But then other parts just made up for it, and I love the story, I love the characters, especially the gender swapped characters. They're so different and weird, but it all comes together to make the perfect blend. So yes, I choose Life and Death. So that's all for the coffee book tag.
We are tagging 3 people for this tag.
First, we are tagging Tess from Tessa Reads, although I think she has changed her YouTube name to Guess It's Tess. So we will leave her channel in the link below.
Also tagging Rose from Rose Reads.
And last but not least, we're tagging Jessica from Between Stories. We hope all of you decide to do this tag. It's really fun, and we would love to hear what you guys think. Like and subscribe. We hope you guys have a fantastic week, and we will see you in our next video. Goodbye!